welcome back, guys. We're back on the International 4700 truck cab project. Got the fender extensions here, 2 coats of polyester primer, which happens to be feather fill. 2 full wet coats on it, and I just had to draw the line somewhere. I've got this in 180 grit. I got some things to fix up like that, and see if the camera will focus, but some pinholes. This part in here, you don't see any of it because it's the inside where it bolts to the side of the truck. Right here. And then that little inset part goes down and under that part of the cab. So you really don't see any of this. So I am not worried about what the inside looks like. I'm most concerned with this part. This is where the mud flap attaches, or the splash guard right here, I believe. I could be wrong. This may also be the top side. This may be where the hood comes down into it. I can't remember which side is which, but the best part has to be this outside right here that you look at. And you can see we got some fiberglass cloth underneath there. Actually, that's matte. That's not the woven stuff right there. But that was all ground back with 36 grit and that cloth put on there to reinforce that crack. It was also out of shape, so I had to relieve some stress. This side isn't as beautiful. It will still bolt up there just fine. But yeah, that's what I had to do to this one. The other one is the worst of the two, I believe, as far as how much I had to repair on the inside of it. But I could be wrong. You can see where that's all gooped down and going along. I'm shaking a little bit here, sorry guys. Yeah, actually this is the better of the two, sorry. But the exterior is in pretty good shape. Now that I've got some primer on it, and I filled a bunch of nicks and scratches and chunks and things like that. But I'm working on these door bottoms, and this red one was probably on the edge of needing an inner and outer door bottom on it. I've got it packed with fiberglass filler right here. It was missing the lip on the inside and had some heavy rust in there that I dug out and wire wheeled and treated with phosphoric acid. That's as good as this can really be without cutting a whole section of door out, but then you argue, well, maybe you could find a door with just some surface rust on it. So we're calling that one good after I sand it. This one's in real nice shape. It was just missing a little bit over here. And then same thing, wire wheel and 3M wheel and 80 grit. And this is, the black is the treated rust. And I've wire wheeled on that, so it should be good. I will try and sneak some 80 grit in there to scratch it up and be able to get my, I will put epoxy on the bottom of these. It's the way I've been doing them for about 5 or 6 years now, and I haven't had one fail yet. When they get this truck assembled, they will fill these bottoms of the door cavities down in here with waste oil, which will ooze all into here, and that'll prolong it. These trucks do not see wintertime travel at all, period. They deliver mulch and materials in the summer, and that's it. So we should be able to get some time out of those doors and all that. So what I'm going to do at this point is go around and mark all my areas that I want to touch up with some tape, and then I'll sand them back. This stuff will get polyester putty over it. Again, I don't think you'll see it. Come to think of it, I believe this is the top because the hood sets down in that groove and across the lip. And then, well, no, that might be the bottom. Hell, I just don't remember. I've never assembled a set of these. I held them up and tried to figure them out. But at any rate, I'm going to fix stuff like that. This, something was rubbing against it, so whatever is rubbing against it will continue to rub. I will not repair that. There's just no sense in it. I'll probably sand these down with 220 or 320 and go ahead and 2K prime them if they're bad, or just spot prime the bad spots, and to eliminate having to resand them. There's just so many freaking grooves in them to get into to sand. They were a bitch the first time around. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This will probably take me an hour to send these two sand these 2 fender extensions. So I'll get you guys back on the stand here and basically just go around these and I'll mark them. It's kind of boring stuff, so we'll show you the process as we go. Hey guys, Monday, back on the International 4700 truck cab and pieces parts. A little update on what's going on. Door bottoms are cleaned up. I got those in epoxy primer, and I'll have to do a little scuffy and put some 2K on that if I let it set too long here. It's only been since yesterday, but that's that. This one's a little uglier, but slick them up, put some seam sealer on the bottom, and see if we can get a couple more years out of them. In yesterday's video, or not yesterday's video, but in an earlier segment, those were not sanded. Those are ready to go. I just got to put some sealer over them where I broke through, but they're going to be good enough. They turned out actually way better than I expected them to. And the good news is the only part you see is from that line out, because that's the outer part of the fender extension. But the fun, that's what's left of my cab corner here. On these trucks, they don't make a cab corner that I'm aware of. It's actually a rocker, and the cab corner is all the way up to there. Now, there's a seam. You can see I've been working on something here, but it's nowhere near finished. There's a seam right here. That's why this is 2 pieces. I guess I could have built it in one, but it's got, in this seam, there's a flange on the top of each of these independent panels that is spot welded together, and I will be damned if I know how they did it, because there is not a bit of access from the bottom. Probably done as a unit and then put onto the truck on that seam right there. That's all I can think. I don't know. It's neither here nor there. I don't need to reverse engineer it, but I've got one patch made. That's that guy right there. That one came out pretty good. I got to grind welds yet, but I decided to just keep moving on, fabricating patches. The other side, passenger side, I thought was going to be okay, and I hit it with a pick hammer and blew it all out. It only had one little spot in it that looked like this, and this is soft in a spot about as big as a quarter here, so I only have to cut a little bit of that out and put a patch in it. But this was just junk all the way across until I got to maybe here. So I fabricated that, and I've got some holes punched in the bottom when I roll that lip around, but I won't roll that lip until all this is welded together, so that I can maintain things. I use sheet metal screws sometimes and then go back and weld the hole closed. There's no access to put a clamp behind this because it's between the inside panel of the cab and the outside and the floor. So the floor is about this level right here, maybe a touch lower. It's just in a son of a bitch of an area. So I've got those fabricated. We'll go back and take a little bit better look. So there's that side. That one's ready to start going. Got a piece of pipe clamped in my vise there, and that's what I was using to get the radius on that cab corner and get it to roll around. I'm actually flange welding these instead of butt welding them, because they're just, as soon as you cut this loose, the cab just bows out. So I put a flange on the repair panel. So there's weld through primer in that gap. I just brushed it, and then I'll take my wire wheel in here and take it all out of that weld zone. The back side of this, as well as the inner structure of the truck, it's got weld through primer on it. Same thing with that one. It was already done that way. It was a little crusty in there, but not too terrible. And when I get around to getting the welds ground out and get all these patches in, which will probably be the end of the day tomorrow. I put 7 hours in it today building these 3 Well, that one, this one, and then those two. That little guy will probably only take me about 10 minutes to fabricate up. And I got about 3 hours of welding, maybe 2. We'll see, in an hour or 2 of grinding. So that'll probably wipe out tomorrow. So my goal was to have this truck cab ready for primer by Wednesday and then shift over to the hood, because the hood is the only thing left. I don't know if I can make it or not. I have to get home. It's already 6 o'clock. And I got here at maybe 10, 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere around there. But I did have to run some errands this morning, so I didn't get on it right at 8 o'clock, which would have been nice. So as far as what's left to do on this truck, the mud work on those patches, some miscellaneous dents. There's one there. There's one there. Whoa, hey, up, up, up. There it is. And one right next to it. The roof is done. I don't know if there's any more dents in this side. If there is anything, it's going to get filled and spot primed after the truck's done, because I don't see anything big. And there was this one. This was a long crease. I showed this before. The rockers are good. I stripped all the paint off of them. There's a little surface rust that I ground away with a rust wheel. So hopefully those will be good to go. I could always put truck bed liner on them or something like that if I don't want to fuss around filling pits. But here's the weld through primer. I usually use the 3M stuff, but I picked this up today. Our local CarQuest wants your firstborn child for a can of 3M weld through primer. It's like $56, which is bullshit, because I can go to my jobber and get it for like 20 something. I don't remember what this was, but the biggest problem I run into with any of them is if they've been on the shelf for a long time in a place that ain't moving product, these things won't spray. This one looked like it was brandy new, and it sprayed like a champ. So I was going to get copper weld, but they didn't have any, so yeah, such is life. There's the seam sealer we're going to use on the bottom of the doors, and all that's going to be there for is to keep the rust from coming up through this lip and showing itself. It can't stop it, because any water that gets inside this door shell and lays in this lip, it is what it is. They're going to oil spray it, so that'll be full of oil down in there, but it doesn't matter what you do. I don't care how you repair them. I've seen guys take Duraglass and smear that whole thing full of Duraglass. I've done it that way before too, but on the ones that have the drain holes that are so tight to that lip, it's just hard to do. So seam sealer is the route I go. This was rust treated with phosphoric acid, wire wheeled, treated again, dig the edge of the DA in there, wire wheel some more, wipe it out with water neutralized acid, Scotch brighted, you name it. If it's an abrasive, it's been in that groove. I've also seen guys unfold this lip on the bottom of a door. And I've also seen them where they're bad enough for when you do that, this fucker splits right at the bottom. And once you do that, then you got to put a partial door skin on the bottom. And I'm not trying to get into all that for this job. This is a make it look better and send it down the road job. Make it all match, first of all. White cab, it's all got to be red in the end. So that's your update for Monday. Another thing, I really like this Harbor Freight Chicago Electric welding cabinet, they call it. It was still on sale all this week for $149. I almost bought another one of them for my plasma cutter. I dig it. It works good. It rolls nice. My cords have a home to hang on, and when you're sitting on the ground beating on a vehicle and grinding, you can hang your welding helmet over there. So that's it, kids. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Tomorrow. See ya.